Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Cracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackenberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Cracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
Happy holidays, everybody. Hard to believe there's just 2 more weeks left in 2021. I can't even get my head wrapped around that. It's been kind of a crazy year of starts and stops. Bill, I've lost the final total of NFL players that went into protocol, COVID protocol. Did we pass 40 yet? Where are we at?
We're at 75 according to Adam Schefter, which I kind of follow his Twitter feed. Yeah, this is getting pretty serious. Baker Mayfield now joining the list. So I'm sure the lines pay real close attention to the lines, because if you can pay attention to your Twitter feed and your sports book, boy, I tell you, it might be some situations here that, you can nail some line moves seconds before they move. Schefter is known as the guy that gets the info in the NFL quicker than anyone, so he'll put it around his feed. You probably have a good 30 to 45, 60 seconds to grab a bet.
So do you like when all of this is happening, or would you rather it just be, I
don't want a normal, and it's more to me than stealing a pointer to when.
Wait, Bill, you cut out. Tell me again.
Oh, yeah. I said I actually want the season just to go on, and I don't want a problem with all the players and stuff. I'd rather just have the season go on and get all the games in, and I don't want no one to be sick and have a chance to have the problems to happen to them and their families. No way.
Got it. And what else is happening here? Well, we've got a fun show today, Crack. We've got an Olympian from not the USA team. Of course, we are friends of the show with Mr. Maurice Green, but we've got his competition, the team that won it all in '96 in Atlanta from the Canadian team. We've got Robert Esmie on with us today.
Yeah, it should be fun. It's always great how we come up with some guests. Our original format of the show was just going to be you and I, and just talking. And we like to have in those kind of shows too. We could just rap about things, but it's been an unbelievable, year and change of guests. I mean, really, really, really happy with the show, the guests, the format, our producers, and just to wish a pre-happy holidays to all those guys, all the WSN guys, all the guys that are involved in our media. And it's a happy time of the year for me. I enjoy the holiday time. It brings back a lot of memories of celebration, family time, and it's a time for sports too, but I always make sure I know which is more important, and that's families and being thankful and grateful, for them. And it's a great time for kids. It's a great time to make memories. Christmas is really for children, so I really enjoy that. But I also enjoy like tree time. My mother always took a lot of time on the tree. That was her big thing. My father wasn't allowed to touch the tree, and she went in and out, each branch in and out, and standing back, looking at it, coming back. I mean, hours and hours of decorating. And it was for us. It was for my brother and I, really. But then you have those times where you just sit and by yourself and enjoy the tree, if that makes any sense. Enjoy the tree, look up at the lights, and think about your past Christmases, your past memories of things that you've had. And it's a happy time. It's a joyous time.
What do you do on a Christmas day this year for a guy like yourself? Walk me through it.
Now it's different now that my parents are gone. We used to always have Christmas Eve in the house. Christmas Day, I used to go to New York City and take all my cousins out to eat. We used to go to like one of those Spanish restaurants. We used to go to where they just, I say Spanish. Am I thinking the wrong thing? Peruvian Spanish is when they have all the endless meats come out. And
like Brazilian steakhouse.
Brazilian,
yeah.
Spanish, Brazilian.
Hey,
I apologize. I apologize. Yeah, the Brazilians, right?
Yeah,
and that we used to go every year to the same one, and it was so hard to get into. It was a great memory of the family and stuff, and I used to always do that. And now it's different. Now we go to the wife's sister, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law in Baltimore, and the kids are 16 and 18, so that's great for them.
Yep.
Uncle Billy gave them a couple $1,000 each. They love Uncle Billy.
Yeah, I
Uncle
bet.
Billy's
better than
car.
Santa.
Well, they're getting a car. The older one just got a car. The younger one got a car, is getting a car. So I'm trying to help them there. The father is a Secret Service agent at the White House. He's actually a supervisor now.
Oh, wow.
22 years. Yeah. My brother-in-law's got a giant position. And he's got about 3 more years to go before he retires. He was a prison guard and a regular cop. Then he was a Washington, D.C. cop. He's been Secret Service for the last 14 years. And now he just got a big position where he's actually a supervisor, but he works at the White House. I don't know how happy he is with that, to be honest with you, off the record. Hope he doesn't hear it. We're on the record, but yeah, I think he was a little bit happy, but he makes a lot more money. So a couple more years, he'll be done. Yeah.
No movies for you on Christmas Day? I go to at least one movie on Christmas Day.
Well, I don't go to a movie, but I do like holiday movies. It's funny you said that, John. What a great subject. I like holiday movies. I'm a holiday movie guy. It's a Wonderful Life, of course. Miracle on 34th Street. Yes. Home Alone. Yes, that's what I love, Home Alone. And Home Alone 2.
Okay, so
both of those great movies. But I also like a movie that people don't realize for holiday times. It's really not based on holidays, but there's holiday scenes in there. I always watch 29th Street, Danny Aiello.
Oh, great movie. Yeah, we've talked. I love Danny Aiello. Okay, so this has been an ongoing debate for many years. I don't know if you're aware of this. So I want Bill Krackenberger to weigh in. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Got some nice Christmas scenes there. I actually I was in Connecticut the other day. On the way home, I brought up some of the top movies I've ever seen. And had a top 25 list I put on Twitter about a year ago. And Die Hard was like 25th. Yeah, it's on the list.
Okay.
So, and I do like the Christmas scenes there. And yeah, there is some Christmas scenes there. And you could say it's a Christmas scene. He went home. He went back to L.A. for holiday time.
Right, yeah.
From New York. And sure, you could put that in your holiday movie.
I answer that question differently every time someone asks me every year. I go back and forth. Sometimes I say it's a Christmas movie. Sometimes I'm like, no, it's not a Christmas movie just because it took place during Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of that, John, Connecticut. I was up in Connecticut at Foxwoods. And I tell you, wow, people have money, brother.
Yeah.
I've never seen a casino, and I've been all over this country, out of the country, big, I mean, down in Florida, Hard Rock Tampa, Hard Rock Hollywood, Verona in California, Temecula, Pachanga. I've been to some of the busiest casinos in the world. I've never seen a casino busier than Foxwoods, the middle of the woods.
Wow. On
Saturday night, you couldn't get it. And by the way, it's one of the biggest casinos in the world.
Yeah.
If not the biggest. You could not get to a slot machine even. It was that busy. People have lots and lots of money. People have money. I don't know if it's all that COVID money that the government gave out, all saved up, or there's just money coming in, or there's just finally the millennials are starting to spend it.
Well, there's a lot of new crypto. There's crypto millionaires now. There's lots of those.
Yes.
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 You mentioned the Hard Rock. There's a big boxing event at the Hard Rock in Miami this weekend. Jake Paul, the rematch. Jake Paul versus Paul-Woodley. Jake is minus 275 as we record this, and Tyron is now plus 225. Any thoughts? I know you're not big on this, right?
Yeah, it's a comedy show time again, but I actually was looking forward to Jake Paul fighting Fury, on Tyson Fury's brother, but that guy, that was canceled, and this guy came in out of nowhere again. I don't know who's going to want to see, who's going to want to pay for it. I mean, it's a joke. I'm looking at the odds. What did you say? 275, which it didn't move. It was a lot. It's a lot less than that, and I'm sure that's the way the money's going to go because I'm sure he will win. I mean, there's some good undercards. Well, I say good. There's some interesting undercards. Of course, our friend Liam Parrow is on an undercard that really 2 undefeated fighters. We're really rooting for him, but there is some other ones. I think I just found out about these today too. Deron Williams versus Frank Gore.
I can't even believe that. That's basketball player versus football player, and the football player is the underdog. Yeah, have you seen basketball fights, Bill? They look like cats. Really. They do that. They don't punch. I'm loading up on Gore.
They look like cats.
They do.
Yeah, no.
Their arms are flailing. This is going to be, I don't know. I feel like gore.
I'm looking at, I haven't seen the odds on that, but is that right? Is Williams minus 165? Wow. Yeah, Gore is a monster. I just seen him on Twitter today. It's like, wow, look at the size of it. But the sizes really don't mean anything. I know that, but anyway, yeah, it should be interesting. Williams, the all NBA point guard. He's a partner in MMA gyms and a big fight fan. And then you have, I guess these guys have been boxing for years, but not professionally, of course. And
right.
I didn't even know. I've never heard of either one of them boxing. So it should be interesting. This is almost like these matches that you would see years ago, the sideshows at these carnivals and the freak shows, and see the three-headed woman and the whatever. I mean, it's kind of like comedy, and but I don't know. Do you pay for this? I would want to. I mean, this. I would actually probably paid to see Paul fight Fury.
Yeah.
And I just, like when we had Liam Parrow on the show, I said I'd love to. Can't wait to watch this, but I don't know if I'm going to be watching this one. I may have to try to crack stream it or one of those things.
All right. Fair enough. Let's talk a little NFL. The cream seems to be rising to the top as the season heads towards the playoffs. Packers, Bucks, Patriots, and Chiefs all at the top. And my Cowboys, our producers in the pre-show notes, they only mentioned the 4 teams, but they failed to mention the Super Bowl winner, as I predict.
Well, anyone can win. I want to tell you something. I watched that Dallas Cowboy game because it was for some reason it was the center stage sportsbook game out of all the games. That's the one that had the audio and video on the big screen, and they played Washington. They were way ahead.
It was a blowout until it wasn't.
And I'll tell you, I don't think Dak looked good. I don't think he looks like a Super Bowl quarterback to me. I can't believe they gave him all that money. I was saying, wow, look. But anyone could have a bad – listen, they won. Not that he had a bad game, but he just doesn't look like a Super Bowl quarterback. But I said the same thing about Mac Jones. I don't know. Even though New England has rolled, I mean, they have outscored their opponents 275-75, give or take, in the last 7 games, which they're 7-0. But I don't know if he's the kind of Super Bowl quarterback. We may be going back to – actually Kansas City, or I guess that's the flavors of the week. Kansas City. I don't want to even say Green Bay. They were losing to Chicago at the half. They were down by 10, down by 6 at the half, and they came back 24-0 in the second half. I understand, but I guess, like I said, New England, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, they're the flavors of the week. But let's not forget, New England, they just a few short weeks ago, they lost to Washington by double digits. Double digits.
Yeah.
Then the week before that, they lost to, I think the Saints, they lost to by 9 points.
Yeah.
You look at Kansas City, they barely beat the Giants on home on Monday Night Football, 20-17 6 weeks ago. So these teams, there's just no strong strength team this year. So maybe your Cowboys can get to the Super Bowl.
And as I call them my Cowboys, as I wear the Raiders beanie, supporting the hometown here. But let me ask you this. Is there an argument to make that Dak shouldn't even have been in the game at the point when Washington came back, meaning it was such a blowout? I'm surprised they didn't just take him out.
I'm always surprised when I see that. Even Brady will be in the game, they're up 30 points, throwing the ball at the end. It's always surprising to me when I see that kind of stuff. It's always like, wow, I can't believe that the quarterback's still in the game. He can get hurt. They're looking to go in the playoffs here.
Right.
You're right. It's something that's just happens that I just don't understand it. There must be more to it than that, because it's not just the Cowboys. It's most of the NFL teams keep their star players in the game.
And the Rams squared up against the Cardinals, and the Rams were missing some players due to COVID, and ended up still winning the game. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Rams. As soon as Monday Night Football came on TV, announced that the 6 Ram players was out, the line moved from 2.5 -20, or even -3 flat, to -3, -25 at some of the key sports books that everyone copies off of. So again, it's public hype pushing a favorite. pushing something because of some COVID protocols. COVID people being out for COVID proved to be absolutely wrong. Rams were the better team. They won from start to finish.
And the Bills, who looked like world beaters last year and then early this season, what has happened to the Bills?
I think they're 2-4 in their last 6 games. Since they lost to Jacksonville, they lost to Indianapolis, lost to New England. I thought they were the preseason. They were the talk of NFL. They were like the Super Bowl favorites. Now they're like 7th or 8th choice. So the Bills have proved they're not the team that we thought they were. And like I said, though, who knows? They can reel off the next 3-4 games and sail into the Super Bowl. Who knows? It's a matter of who's the hot team, who's the flavor of the week. Like I said, even talking about Arizona, everyone was talking Arizona. I think their record was 10-2. Everyone's talking about how good they were. I don't think Murray looked that good on TV the other day to me. He just didn't look like he was a Super Bowl quarterback either. So there's another guy throwing the mix. Does
it make sense to take a flyer on the Bills just based on how they looked last year and earlier this year, and maybe now you can get some value or no?
I see all these sports books have future markets up. Right now, here as we sit with only a few weeks left in the NFL, I don't see any value at taking these teams, the ridiculous odds, 5-1, 6-1 on there's 5 teams that are 8-1 or shorter. What I just told you, what's going on in the NFL this year, I don't see any value in the futures market with such a double-digit hold. They take 20, 25, 50% out of some of these pools. I don't see any value there. The sports books back east, like FanDuel, DraftKings, PointsBet, they have season wins up after Monday night. The next Tuesday, they put up season wins on every team still. So that's kind of a fun way to go about betting some futures, I think. A much, much less hold than going into the who's going to win the Super Bowl 5-1, 6-1 type of bet.
Yeah. Okay, Bill, it's time for our hot takes section. I like this, our hot take. You want to go first, or you want me to leave it up to you?
No, here, I'll give you it here.
All right, let me go ahead.
Yeah. Does Juliana, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, Pena, win the rematch with Nunes?
I don't think so, no. Funny, earlier that day on Saturday, I actually picked Pena. I watched the YouTube show Embedded that the UFC puts on. And watching Nunes through that, I don't feel like she took that fight seriously. I don't mean that as disrespectful towards Pena, but I said, I don't know. I think Pena, plus 650, plus 700, you got to take it. And it came in. Of course, I had it in some parlays, so I didn't make any money. You know how that goes, Bill.
Yeah.
But I think Amanda will get it together, and I think she wins the rematch.
Cool. What do you got?
All right, Bill. A late foul shot in Sunday's Illinois State Chicago game didn't register. How do the books respond to this error in scoring? I cannot believe this happened.
Yeah, big controversy in the sports betting world. Of course, you had a team that's 9.5, 10-point favorite at all the sports books, and the final score they said was 9, but yet it's on 8. The guy goes to the free throw line at the end, hits 1, hits 2. The scorer never counted the second. All he had to do was push a button. He never pushed the button to make the official score go up by 10 points. I think the alumni is actually in charge of this the official scorekeeper of all these colleges. So, you got kids making decisions here. They're maybe on their phone texting or, I don't know, smoking pot or something. I have no idea. But, so I'm looking at David Payne Purdum's feed. He wrote an article on it, actually. It's actually hoop scoring error leads to the sportsbook refunds. NCAA relies upon its institutions to provide the final statistics and ensure their accuracy. So this was a really big controversy. And I'm sure people that bet on the game, on the dog, ran to the window and cashed their ticket right away, knowing the score was wrong. And then the ones that had the favorite probably were arguing. And I'm reading that some of them did give the money back and did give a refund. So very hairy situation.
This is millions of dollars.
Well, it's small schools.
It's
not big schools like, it's not the Dukes and the big time Gonzaga games, but it is a game that has a line on it, and definitely people, I'm sure, especially in the Midwest, which sports betting is legal now in a lot of those states, including Illinois. I'm sure that this affected some people's parlays or tickets in general, and I would think that probably the swing there is definitely hundreds of thousands and maybe even $1 million nationwide swing for sure. So this stuff happens. That's the reason why we have these integrity groups that are supposed to look into this stuff, and I'm sure that they'll help getting this all straightened out. And in the end, the customer will probably benefit from this.
The first thing I thought of when I saw this was this is a good reason why. Think of you don't watch the games. Had you watched this game, if you bet on this game and you watched it, you would have seen him make both those free throws, and you probably wouldn't. There's probably a lot of people that didn't even key in on the actual final score that got posted because they're like, oh, he made both. Oh, I lose, right? but not watching, you just see the final score on a ticker, and then you run to the sports book.
Yep. Very interesting.
It's crazy.
Good subject.
All right, Kracks, super pumped. Our guest today is a Canadian Sports Hall of Famer. He won the gold at the Atlanta Olympics on the 4x100 relay and again at the World Championships in '97. Welcome, Robert Esmie, to the show.
Woo! Happy to be here early morning rise.
No, you look great, man. Your energy, everything about you is all me, man. I love positive energy. And before you came on live here, I said to you, you look unbelievable. You've taken care of yourself. You look like you're in absolutely perfect shape, and you look 20 years younger than you are. So congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. Oil of LA.
Yes, oil of LA. Perfect.
Robert, I know you were born in Jamaica and you moved to Ontario when you were 11 years old. How did you start out as a sprinter? Were you always like the fastest guy, in all the other sports you would play? Like, were you a football guy and then you crossed over to sprinting, or how did it all come about?
It was a crazy story. I remember growing up chasing the chickens and goats early morning, and my grandpa brought me to the farm to catch the chicken and stuff and the goats to move them in the morning. And I had to get back to school by 8:00. And if you're late, the principal's waiting with his belt, old school type of education, right? So I had about a mile to go. So after I got back to the house, quickly eat, wash myself and my feet. And at the time, my shoes was breaking apart. I ran on top of the gravel and got to school right in time. And the principal had the belt just going, when they smacked it together, waiting for that late person. I'm like, no. That's not going to be me. So I think back then I had a natural ability and agility by catching them chickens and goats and running on top of the gravel to get to school. I was training for future Olympic stuff. I didn't realize that.
Bill, did that just make you think of the Rocky movie when Rocky was chasing the chickens?
Yeah. Right. You're exactly right. Yeah. He says, and then when he finally grabbed the chicken, he was yelling and screaming. But better yet, when he said chasing, I don't know why I was thinking when he was a kid, maybe chasing the girls. No, he said chasing chickens and goats. And I was chasing like bookmakers and the cannoli makers and the bakeries in the Bronx. But this guy's chasing chickens and goats. God bless you, man. Great side of the story there. So I actually heard a wild story that you originally were not set to compete in the relay, and you were actually told like the night before the race. Is this true? Come on, tell everyone what happened here.
Absolutely. It's a great drama. At the Olympic trials, when you make the team, you have to be re-ranked again. So you had a month to run before the actual relay starts. So you get to be re-ranked. So in the re-ranked, I was number 3 in the country. So I earned my position. But there was some chemistries and some other people were playing gods and manipulating the situation. But one thing they didn't know, I have God in my back pocket. I'm a very spiritual, religious person. So when everything was falling apart and manipulation happening, I looked up to Jesus and said, God, I'm going to leave it in your hand. I know everything will work itself out. So as things started falling apart at the seams, and I called one of my friend, reporter, Ron McLean, and I let him know what was going on. Story's about to blow up now. And then as things fall apart, they decided to have a meeting the night before and says, we can't do it without Robert. After we're coming off the World Championships, they were trying to get in without me. So I said, listen, man, you're going to have the appetizers. You're going to have the main course. You're going to have the dessert. I'm a combination of all 4-course meal. So you leave the 4-course out, you're in trouble, right? So at that time, I could have went crazy and tell them off, but I looked up and I said, thank you for the appreciation to God. And I said, let's create a scene where I can show the world the real talent of the relay, what's going to happen. And yes, went out, fresh legs, dominated. And when I walk away 97, they have never won a gold medal since. So What does that tell you? The meat and potato, the fresh legs, the charisma. I'm the man, baby. I'm the man.
That's right. That's right.
I love the sprinters, man. They always have the best like swag, They just the swagger that they have. You were a teammate of a legend, Donovan Bailey. You competed at really, to me, a golden era for track. We're very good friends with Maurice Green, who obviously from the USA team. I don't know if you know Maurice, but what was it like competing back then?
It was phenomenal, because especially when you look at the Canadian team, we had 5 athletes who all ran standard, all within the top 15 in the world. So our trials was crazy like the American trials. Only difference is the American trials, top 3, that's it. There's no room for negotiation for the 4th spot. Canada, you get top 2, they negotiate for the 3rd and the 4th spot based on world ranking. If somebody get hurt, or Donovan at the time was the world fastest man, if he didn't make it through or he got hurt, he could have got nominated for the 3rd spot to protect him later on. There's none of that in the U.S., right? So, but when you're dealing with, I had a vision of running 9.69, which hand time, which equals to 9.84, which I put on a poster 5 years before. So when Donovan ran 9.84, which I predicted on the poster, right? That tell you the level I was at till I got hurt. And to see him rise up and perform and dominate, no disrespect, on the American soil, when there was so much trash talking, they've never lost the Olympics in 100 years. So that made us more excited that, listen, we need to bring our A game, right? And Maurice Green, great, phenomenal athletes. I remember I ran a race in Europe, indoor, and this man was still in the setup when he broke the world record. Didn't come out of the setup, 0 to 60 in this angle. I remember I was at 40 meters. I was ahead of him, right? And then the zoom go by. I'm like, holy smoke, People literally went into therapy because what they witnessed in that race, but not me. I still felt like the next race, I could beat him. I could still break a world record, but not everybody else. They went into therapy. The man just annihilated them.
That's one thing I love about the sprinters. Bill, I don't know if you've noticed this from a lot of them. They don't hate on the other sprinters. They have respect and, like when Usain Bolt was, having all that glory and stuff, and I would talk to Maurice Green, he was cheering him on. Like you guys like to see people doing great, excelling in the sport.
We love to trash, and we love to see, yes, people may bash on the Americans or different people, but at the end of the day, we want to see who is the fastest, right? And you just got to bring your A game. It means even calling the night before, trash talking, you're bringing some box of Kleenex. But at the end of the day, you got to put the work in to show up and perform. We love to perform at the highest level when everyone's watching. And that's why we like Sha'Carri too, because yes, she talk a lot of smack, but hopefully 2022, she show up ready to make her feet do the work, and then she can have more conversation.
Cool. I heard something that actually makes me mad. I heard someone stole your gold medal. Is this true?
Yes, it's heartbroken. I was coming from a business trip, some speaking engagement in the Caribbean and a cruise ship. And then I had another event booked in Vancouver, the golf course. So I was exhausted. I flew in, jumped into my car, went, did the event in Vancouver at the golf course, drove home, and went straight to bed. I was exhausted. Don't drive tired. Don't drive drinking and driving. You could put yourself in an accident. So I went straight to sleep. Then my phone rang and my buddy's like, hey, you got to meet me at the club, right? So jump into the car after I was good power nap. Got there. I'm like, I'm not feeling the vibes. I went in for about 20 minutes, came back out. I realized somebody broke into my car. My stuff was underneath the seat at the time. It was heartbroken. But on one hand, I was upset. The other hand, I still was at peace because no one can take the hard work and knowing that I won a gold medal. It's accomplished already. So I call the medal the People's Medal because I've had over 1 million plus people touch the medal, make wishes, buy Lotto 649. I still didn't get my 10%, from those winnings. But at the time, one of my older former boss from Kintech, he says, I told him about the story. He said, no problem. I'll give you my credit card. We'll replace the gold medal for you. I was like, what? They don't hardly replace them. I talked to the IOC and different members, filed my police report, send them the information, send them the credit card. 3 months later, I had to go declare my replica gold medal. So that's pretty awesome story at the end of the day.
Cool. At least you got another one. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. That's good.
Wow. Tell us about life after track. I know you went on to work with several like NFL and CFL players, and you started Air Blast Off Sports. Can you talk a little bit about that? And also, I want to know, are you still fast? I mean, I'm friends with Willie Galt, and he's still training, and he's still fast. Are you still fast?
Absolutely. I need about 6 weeks to brush off some of the baby fat. Right now, I call it the dad bod. I've always challenged anybody in the NFL. If you want to go out and run a 40, give me at least 90 days, and I'm probably still can come out and run a 4.1. I've always run a 4.7 back in my days, right? So mechanics and behaviors, I understand. But I designed the Blast Off back then because I'm fascinated with Michael Jordan, right? I'm fascinated with Tiger Woods, the levels of performance where you can go. And with what I've learned over the years, I realized you can't run fast unless you need air. So air to breathe as a survival tactic and air to fly. The quickest way to your destination is to fly. So I rebranded Blast Off to start to finish. And I said, I need to put some air in it, right? And most sports, the memorable moments are either the ball flying in the air, the guy diving on the ice to get that puck in. Baseball, the further the ball goes to get the home run, great memories happen in the air. So I designed the Blast Off, and I said, with my formula, 6-week formula I've put together, I can take it from here to here in no time no other people can, because I trained myself to an Olympic gold medal. So with all the other things that I've learned, I created a 6-week template. I can make you fast. I am the speed doctor. I make you run so fast you catch a cold. Literally. anybody.
I love it.
Robert, I love your energy, man. You are such a positive force in my day. There's no way I can lose any money gambling today. I am such positive vibes. You are a fantastic guest. We really appreciate you coming on Wisecracks. And God bless you, man. You're doing great stuff, and keep that positive spirit going, my man. And it's been a blast.
Thank you. And for all you guys and the listeners, keep it locked. Don't drink and drive. Don't do drugs and drive. Relax with the family. We can't say you can't have a little weed here or there like Sha'Carri, but make sure you're off your feet. Put your leg up. Enjoy your drink in your home and be safe.
This guy is truly gold. Yeah, that was great.
Truly gold.
No worries.
Perfect.
All right, that's a wrap, guys. Hey, thanks for coming on, Robert. Really appreciate you.
Hey, let us know when you come to Vegas, would you?
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
hey, listen, man, when it comes to betting and track and field, I'm on point, man. I give the exact place, time, location.
Really?
Boom.
Wow, Bill, I loved talking to Robert. That guy is gold, huh?
Wow. He had a positive energy force. He was smiling and just full of energy. I loved it. What a great guy. And I'm hearing now how much of a legendary guy he is up there in Canada. So hope we get him on again, maybe when the Olympics come on. Great guy.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little college. I know it's college bowl season, and you love betting on those bowl games as the Crack Wins members do. What do you like about bowl season so much?
Well, John, it's not only bowl season now, it's crossover sports now. When books have tough times making lines, you have college basketball, which is my forte. Love that. The NFL props. Love betting the NFL props. I love betting college bowls too, but people love college bowls. It's a big time of the year that you really watch because it really counts. It's almost like the NFL playoffs into the Super Bowl. You have 42 games, matchups with really no historical data or reference for bookmakers to go on. You sometimes can find some off lines. They've changed in years past too. It's not the same. I mean, there's so many bowls that are you can't even keep track. Years ago there was a few bowls. Now there's all these games. And you don't know what's happening in these bowls. Who's playing? A lot of the starters opt out because they don't want to get injured for their NFL careers. Similar, which is also without the coaches are moving around too. So
I didn't know that. So a lot of the starters actually don't play in the bowl games because out of fear of getting hurt. I didn't realize
they
that.
Opt out because they don't want to. They don't want to get hurt.
Right.
They have big NFL contracts, and but if they do something happens to them where they have I don't want to say career ending, but even season ending injury, and now they're looked at by a team and say, well, he got hurt in a bowl game. They'll remember. So I actually do understand. It's a weird year this year too with the COVID, and like we said with all the NFL players, like 75 players now. It's going to be a tough going here. I hope games don't start getting canceled and stuff. So traditionally, I would get down on a lot of these games, not a lot, but the games early as possible in order to find the best possible advantage. Like I said, a little bit differently. Might hold off until closer to game time here in order to be certain of the team's makeup. That's the right words to use. Anyway, lineup changes are real important, and I kind of think that motivation is a little bit overrated sometimes, but probably not in the bowls, like I said. So the bowls are the place where it counts. So you have then sometimes you have teams that are upset to be in a certain bowl that they didn't get in the bigger bowl game, if that makes sense. So
Sure.
You have to know the motivation. Usually it's baked into the line, that kind of thing. But sometimes you can get a little advantage just studying the teams, following socials, finding out what state of mind the team's in. So it should be fun. It should be a fun time here, though. Big time of the year for sports betting.
Well, listen, sports bettors, you heard the man. Download the Crack Wins app. It's on Apple. It's on Google Play. Or you can just go to crackwins.com, and you can start betting on all of the games that the Crack Wins users have been betting on all season long. And win some money. Get the money.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a good year this between the college basketball and NFL props. NFL, believe it or not, NFL first half. I think I'm up like 12 units betting first half lines total. So it's been really, really good. It's been a good season. I couldn't ask for anything more, especially in the NFL. Real happy what's going on. So, but yeah, so we're getting there. We're winding up the end of the year here, John.
Yeah, we are. And as this time of year, I know there's still fantastic articles on WSN.com. You open that up every day. Before we started the show, you said, hold on, guys.
Yeah.
I gotta go to WSN.com for a minute.
Hopefully I still have that in my phone. I think I do. So yeah, I do. WSN.com. I was reading articles. I find out things, man. It's in the industry. So I'm headed to Baltimore for Christmas, and now there is sports betting has started in Baltimore. U.S. sports betting news. Maryland sports finally begins with Governor Hogan's all Maryland Super Bowl bets, and I'm reading that article there. Chicago, I seen this was going to be voted on. It looks like it didn't pass. Chicago City Council further stalls plans for sports betting at arenas and stadiums. They were going to have betting at the arenas and the stadiums. Looks like it didn't get voted on yesterday. Again, I'm learning that right on the WSN site. Great U.S. news, U.S. sports betting news. Ohio lawmakers approved sports betting bill. Articles on Ohio, like I said, articles on all different things. There's also betting news, NFL future betting news, NFL odds on futures, articles on the future. The daily articles that come up there, wow. I don't know any other site that puts up so many articles every day. If you want information, WSN.com is the place to go for information on sports betting, gambling, and also those juicy bonuses that we love to talk about. You can only get some of these bonuses here are exclusive to WSN. I come here in New Jersey and I see some people asking me questions all the time about, hey, Bill, they ask me in the sports book, they email me, they DM me, and you can only find some of these bonuses that are being offered at WSN.com. You click on bonuses, you click on the individual area, and it'll open up and tell you exactly what's going on, what kind of bonuses are offered in that jurisdiction. New Jersey, Illinois, Colorado, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. I mean, just from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. WSN.com. That's all I can say.
Well, all I can say is another show has gone by. It goes by too quick, just like this year. Crack, there's 2 shows left this year. That's it.
Yeah, there's only a couple shows left. I might be up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I think I go up there every year for next week's show. I'm not positive yet where I'll be. I could be anywhere. I'm like Santa, wherever the sleigh takes me.
I love it. All right, friend. Well, we will see you again next week, and we'll see all of you next week on Wisecracks. I can't talk today.